I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond.
What's going on, everyone? It's David, this is Smart Fitness, and today we're going to be doing a video about female training, cutting, and nutritional guidelines. So today I've got Allie with me. She's a student and friend, as well as, I guess, technically co-worker of mine. And she's basically going to be detailing what it was like for her to cut, as well as stuff that she's noticed when other females cut, as well as her general training protocols. So Allie, if you want to introduce yourself, say hello to the Smart Fitness Army.
Hey guys, so I'm Allie. I've known David for about a year now. Yeah. So we've been training a lot at school, so that's how I officially met him. But yeah, no, we currently work together now.
So the first question, we're going to start super broad. It's basically just calories. So when you were cutting, what were your calories like in terms of overall calories on workout days and non-workout days?
They sat around, I want to say 1,500 consistently. But when I was actually heavily cutting, I probably dropped it to 1,300 calories. The days where I work out, I'll up it to 15, 16. But days I don't work out, it would stay 1,400 to 15.
And did you start at that 1,400 to 1,300 to 1,500? Like, was that the baseline starting calories, or was that near the end?
That was more near the end, where I kind of did I slowly cut because I did plateau at a point. So I was plateauing around 1,500, so that's when I started dropping it by 100. And then when I started seeing a significant drop, it was around 1,300.
And how much weight would you say you lost throughout the entire portion of while you were cutting?
Okay, so I did a really slow cut.
Okay.
So I did about a year, just so I wouldn't shock my metabolism. But from last year to this year, I probably dropped 25 pounds.
So what was your starting weight if you had
137, 135.
Okay, so
I was powerlifting though, so I was kind of in more of a...
And when we say powerlifting, it's legit powerlifting. She pulls 225 deadlifting, so not little girl strength, real strength.
I almost pulled 3 plates.
Yeah, exactly. So she knows what she's doing. She's strong, for those of you that were wondering.
Yeah, no, I did eat a lot more though then. I was probably sitting, I want to say 2,200.
Wow. So are you still cutting currently, or are you kind of in more of a maintenance
Now I'm in a maintenance.
Okay,
so,
what are you maintaining at?
Weight-wise?
Calorie-wise.
Or calories? Sitting at 1,500.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're slowly trying to increase that back up to get a higher
Yeah, so once I kind of plateau and I stay at so right now I weigh 115 morning weight.
Okay.
Once that's consistent, then I'm going to slowly start increasing by 100, 150.
Cool. And
also maintain body weight.
Very respectable. Yeah. So the next question that we have is more so related to your macros. So did you always have the same macros every single day in terms of protein, carbs, and fat distribution?
Yeah, I kept it the same. I know you change it.
Yeah.
He changes it. Yeah, he'll have high fat days and high carb days.
Yeah.
No, they stay consistent. 35 for fat and protein.
Okay.
And then less carbs. I dropped my carbs because I did kind of go a little more keto. Yep. But it worked better with my stomach.
Yeah, which we will get to in probably 2 minutes. So the next thing we want to look at is your training demands. So guys, I'm looking off of my laptop here. We kind of got a whole list of questions if you're wondering why I'm looking away. So your current training style, what are you doing now if you had to classify it? So it's not so much Olympic lifting, but it's not so much powerlifting from what I've seen.
So I like to do different things with my body. It's just more challenging that way, but right now I'm kind of been consistently sticking to more of a bodybuilding program, as well as a bit of heavier lifts, so I don't just strictly do high volume, high reps. I also will have heavy weeks where I'll do more powerlifting programs, but so far I've just been doing a lot of bodybuilding. Okay. And I do run a lot too.
Yeah, you like your cardio.
Yeah.
Cardio bunny that lifts heavy.
Hey, best of both worlds.
Yeah, really. So while you were actually cutting in I guess we'll call it the deep into the cut phase, what was your training style like for that?
When I was cutting, I did up my cardio. So I did do walks, so I got into walks. I try to walk after my big meals, just to ease digestion, but it did help me with my cut because I was getting in more steps. My heart rate was a lot higher throughout the day rather than just in my workout alone. So I kept it steady and high. So that helped me burn a lot more.
So in terms of actual like resistance training, would you say it was kind of the same protocol, like bodybuilding-esque with heavy compound lifts?
Yeah, so I increased reps and I did increase volume. I wasn't doing as much heavy lifting because it's really hard to lift heavy when you're cutting, just because you're losing so much fat and you kind of get a bit of muscular atrophy, but you can't have both, right? You can't lift heavy and also do a cut because your body's just fatigued all the time, and it's really tough.
So you kind of touched on something that I don't want to gloss over, but you were saying how right after you eat, you like to go for a walk to aid in digestion. Can you explain the...
Well, I mean, like, generally, like, our digestive system, you know, starts from the mouth, ends on the canal. Like, you have to understand, like, when you're sitting down, it puts a lot more pressure on your body and, like, your pelvic floor to actually, like, break down your nutrients. Rather, if you're neutral and, like, you're walking, it helps aid digestion. So for me, I find if I eat, like, dinner and a big meal and I just sit down, I do get bloated.
For sure.
And it doesn't digest as fast. Whereas if I go on a walk, let's say like 20-minute walk, nothing too much. Like, I don't go on like 1 hour walks all the time, but I'll go like 20-25 minutes and I feel really good. And I actually sometimes have a snack after because I digested my food so easily. So
between that and aiding in peristalsis is definitely
beneficial. For sure.
So next we're going to get into like the meat and potatoes here of what we're talking about. So kind of like the gender differences in training as well as hormonal differences. So the first question is, would you say that you trained differently than any male counterpart in the gym while you were cutting?
Yeah, for sure, because we have menstrual cycles. So,
so that's exactly what I was hoping you'd talk about. So let's jump right into that. So the menstrual cycles.
Yeah, like our phases, I mean, it's really hard when you're going through your menstrual cycle because you're a lot more fatigued. Some women experience, you know, cramping. Just, you feel very drained and you don't have as much just energy, and your hormones are quite low. That's why my heavier lifts usually happen right after my period, just because that's when my hormones are back up. Estrogen, progesterone levels are more regular, whereas when I'm on my period, it's lower. So what I will take, those are my deload weeks.
I was just going to ask, so you calculate deloads around the period?
So my deload weeks for guys, it would be, you know, you guys generally do like every 4th week or 3rd week, whatever works for you, right? But for women, normally it would make sense that our deload is when we have our period. Because it's literally like the worst time for us to work out because it's a lot of stress and draining for our bodies.
For sure.
Yeah.
Did you have any problems with your period while you were cutting?
Yeah, so my period's never been really regular. However, this year, even with cutting, because I changed up my diet and I've been more regular and not actually, when I was lifting heavy, I had a very regular period.
You had a very regular period.
Irregular. Yeah. Okay. But this year it's been really good. So even when I was cutting, but normally when I do increase cardiovascular and like endurance-based workouts, I do like skip periods more often.
Really? Do you think that has something to do with like just overall intensity being high?
I think it's just intensity,
and
it's
just too
a
much
lot
of stress for your body too.
Yeah, it's just too much stress on my body, and I know that, but my period's always been irregular. For me, it's like a norm. But for other women who I know, such as marathon runners and stuff, they'll literally get their period once a year. When I used to competitive swim, I would get it once every 5 months.
That's pretty scary. So supplements. Obviously, as somebody who takes their fitness seriously, you are taking supplements.
Yeah.
So let's go over what you have been taking while you're cutting and what you're taking currently. So the main supplements per se, not so much just everything. So we know obviously protein powder, but that's not even really a supplement. It's more of like a dietary aid.
Yeah. So supplements, you mean like for gut?
We can talk about GI wise as well as training.
I actually never took supplements.
No?
Never. No creatine, no fat burners.
There you go. Fat burners waste of money.
Never. It's a waste of money, guys. Don't waste your money on that.
Yeah.
A veteran and like all that caffeine. Nope. Never even tried that. I'm like, okay, but I've never taken supplements. Literally, no.
Okay, so for GI wise then.
For GI, so I had pretty serious gut issues for a couple of years until now, but for gut, I was taking GI Fortify, which kind of promotes bowel movements, so it helps breakage of your nutrients, your macros, to help ease bowel movements.
So the GI Fortify, was that kind of like,
GI,
does your
so it's
digestive
called GI,
enzyme?
it's by Pure Encapsulations. It's a company, I took a couple of their supplements, but it basically induces like bowel movements, and it helps. It kind of acts like a laxative, you could say. Like it's 24-hour. So
Okay.
when you wake up, you normally have a lot more bowel movements as well as like consistent, like every day.
Yeah.
It also increases fiber content and water retention. So
Water retention.
yeah, it's really weird. Yeah, I don't know. So I stopped taking them.
Okay.
But on top of that, I was taking digestive enzymes, probiotics to improve gut health.
So we're going to do a follow-up video on probiotics because I got a lot to say about that.
Yeah, he just brought that up. So
Yeah.
I currently still take probiotics, but we'll have to see what he says.
We'll have like a whole debate on this one actually.
Yeah?
That'll be interesting, yeah.
Did you do your research already?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay.
Years of
I'd like
research.
to listen, yeah. I'd like to know.
So, we kind of covered more or less everything in a little bit of a roundabout fashion from what I can see here. But the only thing we really didn't cover is kind of the female athlete triad. So, as we know, the female athlete triad is basically it's classified as three things: having an eating disorder, amenorrhea, and then having a low bone mineral density. So, for yourself, we kind of know that didn't really affect you too much because you were eating properly. You did have a good aspect of training versus rest and recovery. But I know you were talking about friends where they kind of did fall into this. So just for general women and training in general, you need to talk on that.
Yeah, I feel like women more than men are more prone to being more insecure when it comes to the fitness industry. I kind of blame social media because, when you go on Instagram, everyone can admit I feel like shit when I go on Instagram.
Fake natties and booty pics everywhere.
Yeah, no, like you'll go on Explore and then you have, all these fitness chicks. But then again, that's their life. They get sponsored. They make money off that shit. So
And Photoshop.
Yes, I have friends who've experienced like mental issues and I would say, food insecurity and a bunch of stuff where they kind of feel guilty for eating a lot of foods, and it came down to ridiculous foods such as fruits. Like I had a friend or this member at my past gym. She was on paleo. I would say paleo.
Yeah, so like the paleo
yeah,
diet.
the paleo diet. But she said because it's the best form to lose weight, and I'm like, well, technically it's not because it's whatever works best for people's bodies, right? Like I can't promote keto diets because I think it's the best thing. No, it just works better for me.
So it works.
Ever since I went on a keto, I'm not like intense keto. I mean, I still have carbohydrates, but it just helped my gut issues and I feel a lot better. But I wouldn't go to him and be like, oh, go on keto, help you lose weight, or I vow on keto. But for her, she was vowing on that diet, and like she was saying like, oh, like I have limited amount of fruits and blah blah blah, 'cause sugar content. And I'm like, for God's sakes, like she would feel guilty for eating fruits or an avocado because it's high in fats. And I was like, I can't believe I'm listening to this because it's these whole foods that you should be eating for. Yeah. First of all, they're low calories. They're high in micronutrients. They're very essential for your body, as well as they're healthy sugars. It's not like you're eating, I don't know, candies or chocolate bars.
Hey guys, this interview went a little bit longer than we were anticipating, but to basically summarize, eat for your nutritional demands, not for what you're reading on social media. Eat for your body type as well as what your body craves, desires, but don't overindulge. And most of all,
don't binge eat.
Yeah, don't binge eat. And most of all, follow your hormones.
Get that stuff tested, guys.
Exactly. We're not saying just hop on a cycle of Trenbolone and hope for the best, but listen to your body. All right, guys, that's it. Stay strong, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you in the next video.